Hello, welcome. Welcome back to the Mr. Show. I'm Quentin. Let's get into it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to recap from Monday and talk about last night. I'm going to start up with some NFL news. So, Lions extend Jared Goff for 4 years, 212 million. That's about 53 per year, which puts him top 10 and highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. Number one is Joe Burrow, Goff at 2, Herbert 3, Lamar 4, Jalen Hurts 5, Kyler Murray 6, Patrick Mahomes 7, Josh Allen 8, and tied for ninth or 10th, whatever you want to call it, Dak Prescott, Matthew Stafford, and Daniel Jones. How do I feel on the Lions extending Goff? Now, I believe he is 29. He signed through a contract until he's 33, I believe. I don't know. It's tricky. Since Goff has got to Detroit, personally, he's played a lot better than how he played when he was with the Rams, right? A lot better. But put it this way, what has Goff really done? Now, I get he's been to a Super Bowl. He lost. He's been to two NFC title games, one with the Rams, in which he did get to that Super Bowl that year. Also, the NFC title game last year with the 49ers, in which, not with the 49ers, with the Lions against the 49ers at San Francisco, in which they blew, I believe, a 24-7 lead. 24-7. And I thought the Atlanta 28-3 jokes were getting old. Is Goff really worth 53 million per year? And to that, I'd say no. Goff is not worth 53 per year. And we're talking the second highest paid quarterback behind Joe Burrow, who's been battling injuries since he has been in the league. Now, not all of those are on him, right? But Joe Burrow against other quarterbacks, I'm going to specifically name two. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is 3-1 against Patrick Mahomes, and I believe 2-0 against Josh Allen, who, may I remind you, Josh Allen is the eighth highest paid quarterback, and Mahomes is seventh, right? And you put Goff in the top two. If Goff could win a ring, then I might consider paying him 53 a year. Let alone we have a quarterback out here, Dak Prescott, who wants 60 million? What in the heck have you done to get 60 million? And I don't want to hear, oh, back-to-back seasons or three consecutive seasons of 12-5 or whatever the heck the record is. Taking the East 2 out of 3 years, making the playoffs. Yeah, you've been bounced out. You're the Walmart version of the San Francisco 49ers. And yet Goff wants to get 15 million and then Prescott wants 60? That's crazy. That's crazy. I believe the Lions are making the mistake the Rams did, but the Rams were able to get out of it because they traded Goff to the Lions for Matthew Stafford, who, may I remind you, I don't think I even said it in the first place. But if I did, I did. Won a Super Bowl the year he got to the LA Rams. Detroit. Goff is a liability. There's games he'll put up numbers. Yes. But there are times Goff has costed you, and he will cost you. You are in a division now, since the draft, I did watch it, in a division that has just loaded up. The Packers loaded up. The Bears loaded up. The Vikings, with the exception of J.J. McCarthy, who I'm personally not a fan of, they got Dallas Turner. They loaded up on that defensive side. Depending how the year turns out, the NFC North might rival the AFC North. And why do I say all this? Is because if you're going to pay a quarterback $53 million a year over 4 years for $212 million, he better get you a dang ring. He better get you a Lombardi trophy. And Goff, since coming in the league in 2016, a fat zero, nothing. And the Lions want to sit there and pay him $53 million a year. Ridiculous. Moving on. Actually, comment what you think about the Goff signing. Should he get $53 million a year? Should he have been signed to this contract? Or should the Lions let him walk and maybe start Hendon Hooker or whatever they got going on, or maybe keep him for another year, and next year's draft a quarterback from there? Let me know. All right, number 2. Tampa Bay Bucks give Antoine Winfield Jr. a 4-year, $84 million contract, just making over 21 per year. Personally, I haven't seen much on Antoine Winfield. I know he's got the Super Bowl ring when Brady was there. I can't tell you too much. I don't know how I feel about it just because I haven't seen a lot from Antoine Winfield. But this might pay off. He's young, he's physical, great safety. I love him. And that puts him as the highest defensive back, highest paid defensive back in the league. So he's actually number 1 over guys like this. So this might be why I'm a little back and forth about it. Listen. So Antoine Winfield Jr. is 1, Jaire Alexander 2, Denzel Ward 3, Marshawn Lattimore, Marlon Humphrey, Trayvon Diggs, Derwin James, Jalen Johnson, who just got re-signed this year. As you can see right here, my boy JJ, DB1, calling it right now. Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's been a superstar in this league for a while, and someone who I don't think has been on his A game for the past couple years, but I believe is going to be a future Hall of Famer, Jalen Ramsey. Those are your top 10 highest paid defensive backs in the NFL right now. When I see that, I'm like, you sure you want to pay him more than all these guys? You sure? It's like the Tim Robinson meme. You sure about that? You sure about that? You know. Let me know what you guys think about that signing, re-signing him, along with the Jared Goff signing. Let me know down below in the comments. All right. Last couple NFL news before I move on to the NBA. So I did see strength of schedule, not only for the Bears, but for the rest of the NFL as well. And I know the schedule comes out tonight, which I am excited for. Whoo! And here's Here's why. One reason why. So looking at it, the Chicago Bears have the third easiest schedule by percentage. The third easiest, only behind at number 2, the New Orleans Saints, and number 1, the Atlanta Falcons. Oh. 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 You know, with that in mind, I'm excited. But I do want to see the actual schedule. I want to see who they're playing. Now, you can win against easy teams once it comes playoff time. Say the Bears do make it. You might have to go up against some powerhouses that you might not have played regular season. San Francisco. I'm not even putting Dallas in there. The heck with Dallas. It's like allergy season when it comes playoffs. Sneezing, blowing, kicked out. This Philadelphia. How about 2 other teams in your division? The Packers, in which I didn't believe they were going to make it last year, and Detroit, who's no slouch of a team. The Buccaneers, for what they did last year and to only improve, that's a scary team, right? But going from hardest strength of schedule to easiest, I'm going to do this real quick. So from hardest to easiest: Cleveland, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Houston, Green Bay, New York, Buffalo, Jacksonville, Vegas, New England, Detroit, Los Angeles, Rams, that is. And also the first New York team, it's the Giants. So nobody gets mixed up. Let me move on. San Francisco, Dallas, the Jets, the Bengals, the Commanders, the Vikings, Chiefs, Broncos, Colts, Eagles, Titans, Cardinals, Seahawks, Dolphins, Bucks, Chargers, Panthers, Bears, and as I said earlier, Saints, then Falcons. So schedule comes out tonight, 8 Eastern, so 7 p.m., depending on where you live. I will be looking forward to that. I'll talk about that in an upcoming episode. Talk about week 1 matchups. I might make a Super Bowl pick then, because I want to be a little wild with it. But that is that. And then yeah. And I'm excited for NCAA 25 coming out. I have seen a little bit of some college schedules, so I'll look into that. Talk more football tomorrow or in the upcoming days. But anyways, let's move on. Starting from Monday with the NBA, right? Boston wins game 4 against Cleveland on a 109-102 win. Surprisingly, Boston only wins by 7. And Cleveland did not have Donovan Mitchell. When I saw Spida not playing or not going to play, ruled out, I figured, oh Lord, Boston is about to 40 bomb you guys. And that was not the case. Not the case whatsoever. A win is a win. And Boston's closing at game 5 at home in Boston. I believe at TD Garden. I think that's their arena name, stadium name. I don't really care. Just call them Boston. Boston's closing it out 4-1. I figured there was not much of a fight coming from Cleveland. And I remember game 7, Cleveland at home against Orlando. Fans, we want Boston. We want Boston. And I'm sitting there like, no, you don't. No, you don't. All right, let me get into some stats real quick. Jason Tatum, 33, 11, and 5. I get he dropped 33 points, but listen, he was 2 from 8 from 3-point range and 11 of 25 in field goals. 11 of 25. Easy shots Tatum is missing. And if you're Cleveland, you can afford that because he's not making these shots as he normally would. But he still dropped 33. Al Horford has got 6 points, 0 for 4 from 3, 3 for 9 field goals. Not much to talk about. Jrue Holiday, another solid performance. Before I move on, actually, this just in, because tonight is game 5 between Boston and Cleveland, and then OKC and Dallas, who I'll get to in a few moments. Looks like Donovan Mitchell, calf, unlikely to play game 5. Most likely not going to make a difference if he did play. Maybe more of a fight. But there you go. Boston in 5. Who's playing Boston next? We'll find out soon if the Knicks can close out the series, who I'll talk about that later on. But let me stick to the topic at hand. Jrue Holiday, solid performance. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Not bad. But 6 for 11, 4 for 8. 6 for 11 field goals, 4 for 8 from 3. Solid. But once again, missing easy shots. Shots that I know Jrue Holiday can make. So on and so forth. Derek White, another ice cold performance. 5, 7, and 3. 5.7 rebounds, 3 assists. Excuse me. Once again, Derek White, step it up. You can afford to play like that because you're going against an easy team such as Cleveland. And when it comes to the Eastern Conference Finals, whether it's Indiana or New York, you might not have that luxury of doing so. And especially if you make it to the NBA Finals, you cannot afford to play like that. Especially in the number 1 team who I believe, if they can close out this series, game 6, and make it to the Western Conference Finals and make it to the NBA Finals, would be the Denver Nuggets. That is the one team who I believe, whether you're Boston or anybody else, cannot play bad against. You cannot. And I'll get to the Minnesota-Denver game from last night in a couple moments as well. Derek White, 1 for 6 from field goals, 1 for 4 from 3. Derek White can drop 40 like that. Like if Thanos was snapping his fingers with the Infinity Stones. Bam. Like that. He did it the first 2 games. Where in the heck have you been since? That's going to cost you soon. So Derek White's got to pick it up. Moving on. Jaylen Brown, 27, 8, and 1. Not a single person could stop Jaylen Brown. 9 of 15 from field goals, 2 for 3 from 3. Not bad from 3-point range, but 9 for 15. Missing again, easy shots. You can afford it. But when it comes to the Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals, if you do make it, you can't afford to be missing shots. You can't. You cannot. Nobody in the bench really caught my eye except Peyton Pritchard with 11 points, 3 for 5 field goals, 3 for 4 from 3. He did what he needed to do. Moving on. Cleveland. Evan Mobley. Oh my lord. Evan Mobley. 19 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. 8 of 13. 1 for 1 from 3. Someone else has got to score. Solid line, but when you're playing a team against like Boston, you got to do more. Isaac Okoro, I ain't even gonna waste my time. Dude dropped 2 points. He dropped a deuce. A deuce. 1, 2. All right. Darius Garland, my lord, he showed up. Now, if he would have been this aggressive, even with Donovan Mitchell on the court with him, this series might be different, right? 30 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists. 12 of 27, 4 from 13. Now, I get he dropped 30, and I love the aggressiveness, but geez, 12 of 27 and 4 from 13? 4 for 13. I know Garland can play better and shoot better, but he did what he needed to do. He showed up. He did what you asked of him. And I've said it before in other episodes. Outside of Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland has been the only one scoring. Caris LeVert, 19 points, Strus 15. The bench, not a single person hit double digits. Not a single person. But game 5 is tonight, back in Boston. I'm taking Boston in that. I don't know who wouldn't. It is what it is for Cleveland. Accept your fate. Moving on. Dallas and OKC. What a win for Oklahoma City. What a win. I am proud of that team. I'm really rooting for them. I am. I love Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That team is young. They have fought all year. Probably the most disrespected number 1 seed team I have seen in my lifetime, and I'm only 24. What a win after giving up game 2 and 3. Ow. I'm so excited I'm hitting myself. A win is a win. But how OKC played in game 4, OKC's got to do better. I love that they fought. They stayed with Dallas. Dallas punched them in the mouth. OKC did it right back. I love it. Smash mouth basketball. Love it. But you cannot afford Dallas to get on you like that. The way I saw the game, I'm like, oh man. Dallas is about to go 3-1 in this series. I really did. And OKC pulled through. All right, moving on. Holmgren, 18 points. Jalen Williams, 14. SGA, another 30-point game with 34, to be exact. Right. Giddey, 5 points. What in the heck is Josh Giddey doing? I saw in regular season, Josh Giddey looking good. Like, okay, Josh. Dropping 20 points. Dropping 30. Majority of that game, you sat on the bench. You were missing shots. You are a creator for other players on your team. Josh, you have to play better. You have to. You're missing easy layups, easy mid-range. Dallas was baiting you into shooting the 3 because you are not a good nor efficient 3-point shooter. And Dallas lets you shoot it from 3, and you played right into their hands. Josh, you cannot let them do that to you. I get if it's an open shot. I get if you want to take it. But if you're not the most efficient 3-point shooter, you're going to have to find other ways to score. Josh, this is embarrassing. Lu Dort, 17 points. Very cold night for him. 3 for 10 from 3, 4 for 14 from field goals. But what I loved from Lu Dort was his defense. My gosh. His defense, this man should be playing football. This man was so physical. With Luka Doncic, Luka was struggling. And we saw Luka throughout the entire year cooking everybody. Everybody. And Lu Dort played his part. Love the defense from Lu Dort. And he started making shots when you needed him to. And I'm not saying, oh, I need you to make shots at this point in the game. What I'm saying is, when it's coming down to crunch time and you need your players to really start making shots and scoring, Lu Dort was there. And you know what? Who I'm going to throw in that as well? Chet Holmgren. What I saw physically, and it was a little rough, I'm going to admit. But within the last couple minutes of the third, going into the fourth, Chet stepped it up. He became physical. He started making shots. He was getting those boards in the paint, playing defense. He wasn't scared. I loved it. I loved it. I think what also hurts looking at OKC's bench, 3 players with 0 points, 2 players with 6. The bench has got to do better. All right, let me finish up with Dallas real quick. PJ Washington, he's been the most scoring person on this team in this series. And we're talking 2 elite scorers in Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Now, Kyrie's not the Kyrie we've seen in past years. Rest in peace, Cleveland Kyrie. But where are they? PJ with 21, who led the team in scoring. Derrick Jones, 17. Gafford, 10. Kyrie with 9. Didn't even hit double digits. And Luka with 18. And my gosh, I'm going to just talk about the field goals and the 3 points real quick. Washington, 7 for 19, 5 for 11. Jones, 7 to 12, 1 for 5. Gafford, 4 for 7, not bad, but 0 for 0 from 3. Okay. Kyrie, 4 of 11, 0 for 2 from 3. And Luka Doncic, oh my gosh. Nobody, please don't throw a fit at Luka, but listen. 6 of 20, 2 for 9 from 3. And last I checked, wasn't Luka in the MVP nominee? Wasn't he SGA, who he's playing in this series, and Jokic the top 3 for MVP? And you have one of them shooting 6 for 20 and 2 from 9 from 3. And you guys wanted him to be MVP? The heck? Without Jokic getting MVP, if I had to choose between SGA and Luka, I'm going SGA. And I'm going to say this now. Do what you want with it. Say what you want. SGA is better than Luka Doncic. I love Luka. I love him. Phenomenal basketball player. But when you need someone to score, put a team on his back, and have a killer mentality and instinct. Luka Doncic does not have that. SGA proved it game 4. And that's why OKC won. I believe game 5 for them is also tonight. Yes, it is. In Oklahoma City. I'm still rooting for OKC in this one. Going to be a tough matchup. I believe Dallas still has the keys into the driver's seat. But right now, it's like, when you're in the passenger seat and you put the hand on that driver's, the steering wheel while the driver's still holding, like, stop. That's what OKC is doing right now. Love it from OKC. I'm really rooting for him. All right, let me talk about last night real quick. Knicks. I figured this was going to happen. I knew it. It's happened throughout the playoffs with some of these teams. When you come back at home, you absolutely blow out your opponent's team. And then vice versa. We've seen it. Knicks win 121-91 over the Pacers. Once again, I saw that coming. Game 6, I believe. Yes, game 6 will be in Indy. Looking forward to that. I won't be shocked if Indy wins that one by a blowout. So, it's been a back and forth series with these guys. But let me get into it. Siakam with 22. Love it. Nesmith with 8. Turner 16. Nembhard 11. Halliburton. I don't know if he's allergic to scoring when he's not at home, when the Pacers are not in Gainbridge Arena. Because the man dropped some rubber duckies. He 13, 5 for 9. Like, bro, the past 2 games, you've been dropping 30. You even hit a 3 over Dante DiVincenzo in game 4. He can't guard me. He can't guard me. Get him out of my face. He can't guard me. Bro, you dropped 13 points in game 5. Don't sit there and say you can't guard me. Then when it comes game 5 to take a series lead 3-2, instead of New York, drop 13 points. How about you drop 30, what you did the past 2 games? Too many players running their mouth chirping. Next, they can shut up. And I'm going to reference this real quick. Anthony Davis for the Lakers ran his mouth. Oh, all off season. Yeah, we heard about Denver. Yeah, they beat us. Yeah, they won the championship. You lost the series 4-1. You blew 2 games by 20 points, I believe. Jamal Murray hit a game winner over you. When it came to the 4th quarter, 0 points. And it's like all of a sudden you forgot to score. Then you complained about not being Defensive Player of the Year or in the conversation. We saw why in that series. Then how about regular season? Right? Every time you played Denver was a significant meaning. LeBron hitting 40,000 points. Kobe statue. And then when Denver unveiled the championship banner and the championship rings. Each time Denver has played y'all, other than the one win in the playoffs you guys got, which was game 3, you are 12-13, 1-13 or something like that against Denver, and you ran your mouth. And this is why I say that, because Tyrese Halliburton ran his mouth in game 4, and they got blown out by 30 in game 5. I'll take a little drink here. Poppy. There's not a paid promotion, but I love Poppy. Something my wife got me on. Love you, babe. Guys, if you want a nice, healthy soda, that's also a prebiotic soda, so good for your gut. Try Poppy. Very good. All right. I see this is a little bit of a longer episode, so I'm going to try to wrap this up. Oh, excuse me. In the next few minutes. This is my bad. I didn't think that was going to happen. All right. My gosh. Not like Indiana's bench did better. A person with 1 point, Obi Toppin with 7 after he dropped 21, I believe, game 4. 4 people with 0 points. TJ McConnell, after he dropped 15 or so, dropped 7 game 5. And Shepard with 6. Your bench was a no-show. Your star player was a no-show. The only one who I can really say did good, actually maybe 2, I'll put him in here, is Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner. I figured this was going to happen. I did. But why I'm mad about it is how you can run your mouth and proceed to get blown out by 30. If you lost by 10 or so, maybe this would be a little bit different from what I'm saying. But a 121-91 loss, excuse me, it's embarrassing. Let me go to New York. Hartenstein, 7 points. Brunson showed up. I don't know if he's also allergic to scoring when they're not in MSG, Madison Square Garden, but the man showed up too. 44 points, but he went 18 of 35. Once again, like I said with the Boston series, how Tatum went 11 for 25, you can afford it. But 18 of 35, he's not missing. He's not making the shots he knows he can make, and we've seen him make. I don't know if it's defense-wise from Indiana or there's some injury going on we don't know about. I know he did hurt his foot game 2 or something like that. Maybe that's still lingering or just a mental block. And I get he dropped 44, but you went 18 or 35 to get those 44 points. 18 or 40. Yeah, 18 or 44. Oh, no, 18 or 35. I'm thinking of 44 points. 44 more by logic. All right, let me move on. 17 points for McBride, 18 for Hart, 8 for Dante DiVincenzo. Your bench did better. Alec Burks, once again, I don't know who he was till game 4. He almost dropped back-to-back 20-point games. He dropped 18. Their bench was on show. So, I believe game 6 is tonight. No, tomorrow, Friday. Oh, yeah. So, Friday, game 6 between Indy and New York, and game 5 between Cleveland and Boston. And then let me talk about Denver, Minnesota, and I will wrap this up because I know I've been on here for a little bit. This is a longer episode than what I normally do, so please be patient, but let me finish this up. Oh my gosh. I watched that Nuggets T-Wolves game from last night. I did expect Denver to win. I did. Being back at home, you won 2 games straight in Minnesota. You're coming back to Denver. They won. And a 112-97 win. But let me tell you, throughout the playoffs, and one of my friends said it yesterday at work, dude, when you say things, I don't know, things happen, right? Like I texted him about the OKC game. I'm like, yo, I think Dallas is going to win this game, even though I'm rooting for OKC. Right, as soon as I texted him, OKC had tied the game, and they started pulling out in front of Dallas, in which they won. I was like, oh, yeah, maybe I spoke too soon. Right. But I did say this. If Jokic wins MVP, Denver's winning the series. Denver leads the series 3-2. Minnesota gave Denver what they shouldn't have gave Denver: momentum. And say Minnesota does win game 6, you better pray you win game 7. But I don't think it's getting past game 6 because Denver is out for blood. And those Denver fans are ruthless. I heard them chant. It was loud as day. Ant, you suck. Ant, you suck. Ant, you suck. I was like, dang. Denver is letting them know who they are and why they are NBA champions. Jokic is a different breed. That man is in a league of his own. And I'm saying this now for big men that play center in the NBA. I will take Nikola Jokic over Joel Embiid. Right then and there. Let me get to these stats real quick, and then I'll wrap this up. I'm gonna start with Minnesota. It wasn't a bad night for those guys. It wasn't scoring wise. But man, Denver's defense, I don't think I've ever seen Denver's defense look so crisp, so good, and aggressive. And Mike Malone, whoo, he's a championship coach. You watched last night. There should have been a charge call on Rudy Gobert charging Justin Holiday, Jrue Holiday's brother. Did not happen. Let me tell you this. Mike Malone was pissed. I mean, infuriated. He went to the ref's face, got in his face, was chirping, getting at him. And I believe Reggie Miller or Grant Hill was saying, oh, he's planting seeds. You want to know what happened? After that, 3 consecutive plays, 3 charge calls have been called. I've never seen that happen. That's a championship head coach messing with the referee's head. Never in my life have I seen 3 charge calls in a row after a missed charge call in which they showed the replay. Gobert led with his elbow, which is a charge, and was not called. Oh my gosh. Let me get to this. Jaden McDaniels, 9 points. Gobert, 18. Jokic had him lost. Oh, man. Jokic had the defensive player of the year lost. And I'm sitting there like, this is the man who you voted defensive player of the year? Y'all should have rethought that vote. Cat, 23. Solid night. Alexander Walker, I believe he started for Mike Conley, who was out. 14 points. Not a bad night for him. Edwards, 18. Edwards, man. I love him, but I think Denver's figured out a way to stop him. Minnesota's bench as well was the no-show. Moving on to Denver real quick. Aaron Gordon. I love him. Oh my gosh. From where he was in Orlando to now, oh my gosh. I will take Denver Aaron Gordon in a heartbeat. 18 points. Porter Jr., I love MPJ. He's got to play better. He's forcing shots. He's making shots he knows he can make. He's doing too much. MPJ, slow it down. You're doing too much. It's like this right now. You're doing this. Bring it down. Bring it down here. You're good. You're good. Slow it. MPJ, 6 points. Mike Malone was not happy with him either. But his defense, it was solid. It was solid. I'm going to save this guy for last. Jamal Murray, 16 points. Was a cold night for him, shooting 7 of 14. But he showed up when he needed to. He made big time shots when he needed to and when the team needed him to. Caldwell Pope, KCP, he showed up. 16 points, 6 for 8, 4 for 5 from 3. Love it. Christian Braun, oh my, that boy is something. One specific play. I think Ant was coming on a fast break, right? They had just turned the ball over. Ant's coming down the court. He stops, tries to pump fake, right? I don't know if he's trying to draw a foul and lead into the contact. But as he's about to come up, Christian Braun comes out of nowhere, hustles down the court, swats that ball away. Oh, he's getting more playing time than Michael Porter Jr. And the way I see it, watching these games, Christian Braun deserves that playing time. Whoo! Bench, 10 points. Now I'm going to finish off with this. Because this is a bit much of a longer episode than normal. I did fit a lot into one, and I have been talking a lot. Jokic. Since he got MVP, his third one, this man's been playing like an MVP player. Rightfully so. And he's playing hungry for another ring. Oh. From what I'm saying it now. Denver wins this series, in which I believe they can and they will in Game 6. There is not a team in this league, especially in the playoffs, that is beating the Denver Nuggets. Not OKC, not Dallas, not Boston, not New York, sure as heck not Cleveland, and sure as heck not Indiana. Oh, Jokic is a different breed, and that man came to play. Oh my gosh. Jokic, 40 points, 7 assists. No, take that back. 7 rebounds, 13 assists. 5 for 20, 15 of 22, 2 from 3. This man came to play. He showed you why he is MVP, a 3-time MVP, and an NBA Finals MVP. Oh my gosh. I'm going to talk about this one play, then I'll wrap it up. He was in the paint. Gobert was guarding him, right? Solid. It was solid defense. Solid defense. I don't think you could have asked more from Rudy Gobert. I cannot tell you the amount of spin cycles Jokic hit on Gobert and hit a Kareem side hook. Oh my gosh. Jokic was it looked like it was the Thriller dance for a second. And Gobert lost. Jokic. Whoo. Jokic, boy. Oh, that man's cold. All right. So Denver takes that series, leads 3-2. Recap: Cleveland and Boston tonight. OKC in Dallas tonight. Denver, Minnesota Thursday, and then Friday, if necessary, Boston and Cleveland, which won't happen because Boston's taking it tonight, and then New York and Indy. All right. Wrap it up. I know NFL schedule comes out tonight. I'll be looking forward to that. Tomorrow, NCAA 25 college football. The reveal comes out. I'm excited. I'll talk about that. I'll talk about the basketball games tonight. Um, thank you. I know this was a longer episode. Longer. So I do thank you guys for listening and being patient and bearing with me. Make sure to follow, subscribe, like, share, and comment. Also, hit that notification bell just to stay tuned and alert for any episodes coming out. And stay tuned till the next episode.